Hey, it's BonusSatis. How's it going, guys? Alright, today we're going to be looking at a Vayne build. I call this my Batman build because if you look at Vayne's lore, she's pretty much Batman. But for this build, though, we are going to be going with Blade of the Ruined King, Berserker's Greaves, Duskblade of Drakthar, Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge, and Lord Dominic's Regards. Alright, guys, the build order, what I'm going to be going in is Dorian's Blade. The reason why I picked that one is because it has that 80 health, which for early game, Vayne is quite squishy, and so it helps that laning phase. By the way, guys, don't forget to get a control word. Be kind to your support. First item I buy on her is the recurve bow. Reason why is that increased attack speed is going to help you with last hitting. Plus, a unique passive on the recurve bow is it does 15 additional physical damage on hit. It's going to help you secure those last hits. Okay, Blade of the Ruined King is the first item which I purchased, then Berserker's Greaves, then Duskblade of Drakthar, which is incredibly horribly broken on her right now. I will get into in a moment. I go Phantom Dancer, and then the next item actually which I purchased is Cloak of Agility. I have actually yet to sell my Dorian's Blade, so the Cloak of Agility is taking the 6th place in my kit that I can hold for items in-game. Well, I'm saving enough money for the Infinity Edge and Lord Dominic's Regards. I go with the Cloak of Agility because that's going to push you up to a 50% crit rate, so that will be your best bang for your money. Alright, let me say this real quick though. The Duskblade, the reason why this item is in this build is that one of the abilities on it is called Night Stalker. So I'll read to you what it says. After being unseen for at least 1 second, your next basic attack against an enemy champion will deal 50 plus 200% lethality, which on Vayne is 30, of true damage on hit. Lasts for 4 seconds after being seen on an enemy champion. So, at level 6, I'm sorry, come on, brain. At level 18, Vayne's ult lasts for 12 seconds. Her tumble is on a 2-second cooldown. So what that means is you will be able to tumble with her ult on, auto attack, wait 2 seconds, tumble, auto attack, and every single time you're going to be doing an additional 80 true damage. This murders the crap out of people. It is so broken. It is so amazing. It is glorious. I fully expect that to be changed, but oh my gosh, does that ruin other people's lives. Okay, but now for the build. So I have 3 different builds here, and first build contains 120 attack speed, 210 AD damage, 10% lifesteal, and 50% crit. The second build is different by the static shiv, and the last build has more attack speed than any of the other 2. So previously, Vayne builds, either you did damage or you did attack speed. But with the new Duskblade item, that's changed, and this is now mathematically the best build possible. I will get into that math in a moment here. I just wanted you to notice the 3 different builds that I have here, and I'll show the difference between them. So build A, I'll just tell you right now, is quite literally the best build possible. Also, let me note for you guys the reason why I picked these items specifically, why other ones didn't make it in. So the Blade of the Ruined King, one of its unique passives is that it does 6% of the target's health as bonus physical damage. So let's say like on a 3,000 health champion, we're doing an extra 180. The Duskblade, like I already said, is going to be shoveling out an additional 80 true damage while you're in your ult and you tumble. Lastly, the Lord Dominic's Regards. So this is kind of like an AD death cap. So what it does at its highest scaling point, it does 15% more damage. So for this build A, it actually means we're going to get like an additional 31.5 free AD out of it. It is pretty darn sweet. Alright, now let's get into the math side of things. Let me get this pulled up for you. Okay, some real quick math. I will try my best not to lose you guys in this, but I believe it is all relevant to Vayne. So base attack speed at level 1 is 0.658. At level 18, that's increased by 68%, or 0.447. So 0.447 plus 0.658 at level 18, Vayne's attack speed is going to be 1.105. With build A, we have 120 attack speed. You do the math. That's going to bump it out to 1.894. And build B is going to be 155. Or our attack speed is going to look like, it's going to be 2.124. Numbers are hard to read. Okay, so this is going to be our attack speed. Again, this is without any other runes or masteries or any other modifiers. This is just purely the numbers of Vayne and her kit and what these items are actually going to do to it. So at level 18, her ult lasts for 12 seconds. So that's the number I'm going to be working with here. Normally I'd pick a smaller window, but this number is actually special to Vayne. That's why I picked it. So over a 12-second period, with attack speed of 1.894, we're going to do 22.728 shots, or really 22. And over a 12-second period, with our faster attack speed of 2.124, that's going to be 25.488, or really 25 shots. So we're looking at 22 and 25 shots over a 12-second period. That's only a spread of 3 shots over 12 seconds. But let's see if that true damage can overcome the raw power and the slower hitting build. Okay, so build A has 210 AD with 50% crit and the modifier of the Infinity Edge. So crits are going to do 2.5 instead of 2, because crits always double your damage. Infinity Edge does 2.5. So this is the formula I'm going to be going with here, which is base damage multiplied by your critical multiplier multiplied by your critical chance plus base damage. Okay, so plug in the numbers. We have 210 for base damage, critical multiplier is 2.5, a crit chance is 50%, and base damage 210. Start chugging those numbers through. We ended up with 472.5. We're going to multiply 472.5 times our 22 shots. That is 10,395. Now let's look at the second build. Build B has 140 AD, which is less, and 60% crit, but it does not contain the Infinity Edge. So crits will be the crits will not be modified by that 0.5, but it does have a higher crit chance. So let's see what this comes out to. The exact same formula as what I used before. We plug in the numbers, plug and chug. We ended up with 7,700. If you guys want, I'll hold that right there. You can pause and check my numbers. They are all good though. So that 3-shot difference means you get to place 1 more stack of her passive on enemy, and that's what we're hoping for with that faster attack speed build. So at level 5 of Silver Bolts, we're doing 12% of the target's health. Since that is a percentage of the target, let's pick 2 different targets. So let's say like a 3,200 champ and 1,900 squishy. 12% of 3,200 is 384, and 12% of 1,900 is 228. So these numbers come nowhere close to that 3,000 difference of 10,395 and 7,700. So plus her Q builds off of AD damage. It's going to scale off of it. So the higher attack speed is actually going to keep that number down. Okay, another thing I would like to go over with you guys is that that in Season 7, armor penetration was changed. It's now called lethality. So let me just highlight this spot for you. This is what the formula looks like. 1 lethality is 0.4 multiplied by lethality plus 0.6 multiplied by lethality multiplied by the enemy level. That equals flat armor penetration. In short, better scaling for late game and not better scaling for late game and not broken early game. So on Vayne, the Dusk Blade gives us 80 true damage. All right, let me get this taken down. And sweet, we're back to here. Alright, so I showed that build A is mathematically the best. Build B does attack faster, but doesn't do as much damage. And then build C, I did not even bother to go over. The attack speed is even shorter. The true damage does not catch up with it. Alright, and then here's 2 items down here which did not make it in the build, but I did want to reference. The Ruins Hurricane. Vayne's Silver Rings, her W, does not proc off the special off of the Wind Fury, so that item did not make it in. The Merciful Scimitar, that item used to be a staple in every single Vayne build, but that item was kicked out by the Dusk Blade because the Dusk Blade is so strong right now. Alright guys, so that is the full build. Let me just get this scroll back up here for you. So that is the full build. That is all the items I go with, and it is fun. You can shred people and ruin their day. Alright guys, now let's go take a look over at runes and masteries. For runes, let's go down the right page there. For runes, I go with the greater mark of attack damage, I go with the greater seal of attack speed, and I go with the greater glyph of mana, and I have 3 quints of the greater quint of attack damage. Alright guys, this is my standard AD page I use on every single AD champion, on every single ADC, pardon me. So this one is not very specialized to Vayne, but this is my all-around build that I use all the time. It works quite well for me. You can customize this and change it, but this is something that works quite well for all champions. And for masteries, I go with 18 points in Ferocity, and I go with 12 points in Cunning. I also do take Warlord's Bloodlust. This, again, is my standard AD page I use for my masteries. Again, this is an all-around best build for me and my playstyle. Feel free to customize this to something else. This is very solid and it does work quite well. Alright guys, that is everything. Runes Mastery's full item breakdown and mathematical proving ground for those stats. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also remember to subscribe if you're not already. I will have more great content coming out, and I'm going to have more builds. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.